Hi, welcome to Youth Yoga. My name is Melissa and I'll be taking you through your classes this semester. To begin, find yourself centered on your mat, sitting however you find comfortable. We're focusing on lengthening through the back. We're lifting through the spine, extending through the top of the head. Shoulders are down and relaxed. Take a minute to connect with your breathing today. We're intentionally letting go of distractions. We're taking a break from all the mental chit-chat that we all carry with us all day, every day. And we're simply just breathing. Take a minute to scan through your body from head to toe, noticing how you feel today, how your different muscle groups feel, how your joints feel. Take a minute just to be aware of your emotions also. After you've taken a moment to notice, start to focus on softening the body. So we're relaxing the muscles. We're softening through the forehead, the eyebrows. We're softening the eye, jaw, and shoulders. Breathing in, lengthening, and exhaling, softening. We'll go through 4 to 5 more breath cycles. When you're ready, take a deep breath in through the nose. As we're exhaling, we're dropping the chin straight down to the chest wall. Shoulders are pressed down and we're looking down toward the lap. We're opening and stretching the back of the neck. On your next breath in, slowly lift your chin, turn to one side, and exhale, dropping the chin down towards your collarbone so that you're opening and expanding the opposite side of the neck. Take a nice deep cleansing breath in, lift the chin, slowly turn to the opposite side. Use the breath out to drop the chin down toward the collarbone, extending through the other side of the neck. Good, take a breath in again, turn back to center and use your exhale to drop that chin straight down to the chest wall, just like we did a minute ago. Good, breathing in, lift back up. We're gonna come to some elbow circles. So I'm gonna come all the way down to a cross-legged seated position. The arms extend out to the sides, and then we're bending the elbows, placing the fingertips on top of the shoulders. So the elbows point straight out. The bottom of the arm, the tricep, is going to be parallel to the ground or to your mat. We're drawing circles to the front. Each circle gets just a tiny bit bigger than the last. We're warming up the shoulders and the upper back. Good, 2 more. Once your elbows are back out to the side, do that same thing, but this time the rotation is to the back. So little tiny circles rolling to the back. Each circle gets intentionally bigger. Try to notice the different sensations in your shoulders and your upper back as we're going through this exercise. Good, 2 more. Nice work. Send those elbows back out to the side. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we're closing the elbows together in front of the body. They don't have to touch, but we're just drawing those elbows towards each other. Once we've got our elbows here, we want our shoulder blades in the back to move away from the spine so that we're broadening and widening through the upper back. And then take a breath in, open, and exhale, close. Shoulder blades move away from the spine. Breathe in, expanding like you're trying to touch your elbows behind your back. And then exhale, close. Keep it connected with your breathing. So every time we open, we're breathing in. And every time we exhale, we're closing those elbows. Breathing in and breathing out. Check your posture. Make sure you haven't started to round or slump. Sitting up nice and tall. Couple more. Good. Here's our last one. Once the elbows are together in front of the body, gently roll the arms down, and we're coming to a simple side stretch. So we're just going to extend the arm up toward the ceiling. Reach like you're trying to touch the ceiling with your fingertips, and then we take it to a side bend, keeping the ribs wide and open. So we want to be sure that we're not collapsing and closing. We're keeping this top shoulder slightly to the back so the ribs stay wide and open. Both hips are evenly planted on the mat. Breathing out, dropping that arm down. Take a deep breath in. Send the other arm up and over. The bottom shoulder relaxes. Now we move into a bit of a flow. So exhale, drop down, breathe in, up and over. Good. Exhale down, breathe in, up and over. Keep that same flow going. Shoulder flexibility is a really important part of spinal health. If we've got flexibility in the shoulders, we're going to be breathing better using the diaphragm instead of the secondary muscles. We've got one more on each side. Nicely done. Once you're back to center, take a deep breath in, circle sweep the arms up, palms come together. We're breathing out, dropping the hands down to the heart center. And then breathe in, scooping in an upward motion. Exhale, pulling down. Keep that tall posture through the spine. Extending through the top of the head like we're trying to touch the ceiling with the very top of the head. We've got 4 more. Breathing in and out. Move at your own perfect pace. Last 2. Nice job. Go ahead and come on up to a tabletop. Stacking the joints on top of each other. So the shoulders are over elbows. Elbows are on top of the wrists. We've got wide fingers. So the fingers are spread apart nice and wide. If you find that you're double jointed, we're just going to rotate a little bit so that the eye of the elbow is looking at each other and not straight ahead. So once you're in that tabletop position, we're moving into some cat-cow stretches. Dropping the belly, lifting the chin, tilting that tailbone up. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, round and curl. Tuck the tailbone, drop the chin, look back towards the belly, and round through the upper back. And then drop the belly, lift the chin, breathing in. And breathing out. Good, 1 more. Once you're back into a tabletop, we're stepping the right foot forward. We're into a kneeling lunge, circle sweeping the arms up. Pausing here for a few breaths. We're finding stability in the front foot and in the back shin. Keeping the weight evenly balanced through each side. Now we start a flow through the arms like we did a moment ago. Palms come together. Breathe out, drop the hands down. Good, breathe in, sweeping up. Exhale. Keep that same pattern going. 3 more. Good, last 2. And last 1. Good, we're taking the arms, we're coming out to the shape of a goalpost, taking it to a little tiny back bend. So we're just gonna roll the shoulders back, looking up toward the ceiling. A good rule of thumb, we don't wanna throw the head and the neck back. So if you were to make an L shape with your fingers, and you place the thumb right by your collarbone, and the pointer on your chin, you should never go past this range. So this right here is too far. So that's just a little secret to help keep your neck nicely aligned. Breathing into the ribs. Good, back to center. Find a tabletop. Now the left foot steps forward. Grounding into that front foot, send the arms up. Breathing for about 4 breath cycles. Shoulder blades anchor down. Palms come together, breathe out. And breathe in, sweep up toward the ceiling. We want a nice big range of motion through the arms. Here's our last 3 circle sweeps. Here's the third. Arms come out to a goalpost so that we're widening and expanding through the collarbone. Drop the shoulders back, look up toward the ceiling, keeping that neck in line. Good, once we're back to center, we come back to our tabletop, tucking the toes. We're getting ready for a down dog. Sending that tailbone up, take a minute just to enjoy this stretch. The hands press forward. The heels anchor down. Ears are right in line with the arms. 2 more deep breaths. Soften the knees, take baby steps, walking those feet forward. Take a deep breath in, circle sweep the arms all the way up, and exhale, dropping those arms down. Good, we're into a warrior 1. The right foot is in the front, the left foot is in the back. The front knee is bent, and we rotate through the hips so that the 2 hip bones shine to the top of the mat. Take a breath in, sweep the arms up. Palms come together, exhale, dropping down. Good, sweeping back up. And exhale. We're keeping the legs active by pressing the feet away from each other. From the hips down, we're grounding or pushing. And from the waist up, we're lifting or extending. Good, 2 more. Nice job. Switch sides. So that left foot comes to the front. The right foot steps in the back. Front knee is bent. Hips are rotated. Take a breath in. Send those arms up. Pause here for just a minute to get your grounding. And then when you're ready, palms come together. Exhale, lower. Breathing in, sweeping up. Exhale, pulling down. Get a nice press in those feet so that we've got activation going through the legs. We've created dynamic tension in the body. Nicely done. We've got 4 more. Here's 3. Last 2. And 1. Good work. Turn to the long side of your mat. Take a deep breath in. Circle sweep the arms up. Reach toward the ceiling. We're breathing out. Swan diving down. Reaching to the side. The back stays straight. Once you're in your forward fold, you can do anything here with your arms that you would like to. Your hands can be resting in front of the body. You can bring your hands around behind your body, or you can bend your elbow and reach the opposite hand to the opposite elbow. Two more deep breaths. Good, drop those arms down, soften your knees, circle sweep the arms all the way up. We're into a chair flow. Palms come together, bending the knees, pulling those hands down, and then ground into the feet, straighten back up, and lower down. I'm going to turn to the side for just a minute. So if you watch my knees, they're staying stacked on top of my ankles. So I'm sending my tailbone to the back, and the spine stays nice and straight. So here's a misalignment, tucking the tailbone and jutting the knees forward. So this is the incorrect form. This is the correct form. So right here, we're getting all kinds of strength work in the legs. And most importantly, we're keeping the joints safe. Working the arms and the shoulders. We've got 4 more, reaching out and up and settling down. Good, last 3. 2 more to go. And last one. We're staying down in chair, pausing here for 4 to 5 breaths. Feel free to make any adjustment in your knees. You can come up a little bit higher, or you can sink down a little bit lower. 2 more deep breaths. Nice job. Straighten those knees. Come all the way up. We're taking our right foot, pointing it to the top of the mat. Getting ready for a triangle. Arms are extended. We straighten out the front leg. Both legs are straight. Reach in front of yourself first. And then the right arm drops down, the left arm extends. We're grounding into the outer edge of the back. Reach to the ceiling like you're trying to skim the ceiling with your fingertips. Two deep breaths. Good, bending that front knee, coming back up. We're coming to a standing straddle split. So we've adjusted our weight evenly between both legs. We're hinging forward, dropping those arms down, and then we're walking the arms to the front so that we get a release in the shoulders and the upper back. Now we're pushing into the outer edges of both feet to help keep the ankles from rolling in. Taking the hands, walking them back under the shoulders, we soften the knees, come up nice and slow. We're coming to a triangle on the other side. So point that toe towards the center of the top of your mat. Arms are extended. Straighten out both legs. Shift the spine. Then the left arm drops down, the right arm points up. Shoulders stay stacked. If your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees just a little bit. Otherwise, do your best to keep them straight. One more deep cleansing breath. Bending the front knee, coming back up. We're back to a standing straddle split again. So adjust your weight to center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hinging forward. Reaching the arms to the front. One more deep breath. Good. Walk those hands towards your mat. We're going to bend one knee and straighten one leg. And then bend the other knee, straighten the opposite leg. So it's a little miniature lunge from side to side. If your legs feel tight today, another option is to stay up high, hands at the hips, and do it this way. So find what is best for your body today. We've got 2 more sets on each side. Good, last round. Once we're back to center, we soften those knees. Coming back up, sweeping the arms up overhead into a star stretch. So the arms are extended, fingers are wide, planting into those feet, lifting and lengthening through the sides of the body into a star stretch. Two deep breaths. Shoulder blades pull towards the spine. Go ahead and drop those arms down. Keep your feet right where they are. Maybe point your toes out to the corners if that's better for your ankles. We're bending the knees, sweeping the arms up overhead, and then we straighten out and drop the arms. So bend the knees, fingertips meet, and straighten back out. We're remembering that the knees are pointing to the middle toes. Knees naturally rotate inward. So keep those knees open by pointing them to your second and third toe on each side. Every time we stand from the kneecap up to the hip, we're squeezing the muscles in the front and the back of the leg. Four more. Three. Good, 2 to go. And 1. Hands come to the hips. Settle back down into a squat. We've got a 12 count. So it's a pulse. Moving those knees just a little bit for 12, 11, 10. Three, 2, and 1. Stay down, breathing, holding that strength pose. Good, straightening back up. Returning back to the other side of our mat. Take a deep breath in. Circle, swoop the arms up. Exhale, hinging forward. Palms come to the mat, the feet step to a down dog. And we'll rest in child's pose. Knees come down to the mat. Hips sink down toward the heels and we rest. In here for four more breath cycles. When you're ready, we're coming back up to a tabletop. Bringing that right foot forward. Back to a kneeling lunge. This time, send both arms up, and we're taking it to a twist. So we're taking our left hand, we're crossing it over to the outside of the knee. The right hand comes around back, and we turn the shoulders toward the right side. Keeping those hips squared to the top of the mat. Two to three more breaths. Good, back to center. Drop to a quick tabletop. Pulling the left foot forward. Breathing in, both arms send up toward the ceiling. Now the right arm crosses on a diagonal, coming to the outside of the knee. The left hand crosses to the small of the back, and we're turning the shoulders, looking to the left. One more deep breath. Get back to center, drop those hands down. Tabletop, now that right foot comes forward. We're into a regular kneeling lunge. Shoulder blades pull down, fingertips extend. We switch from here to a high lunge. So we're folding forward, dropping the hands down to frame the front foot, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, and come up to your high lunge. Hips are squared to the top of the mat. The feet are on two separate tracks. All 10 toes point to the front. Straightening out that front knee, we're getting ready for a pyramid. Hinge forward, reach the arms to the side. Both legs are straight. Fingertips come down to your mat, or you can rest them on your shin or higher. The right hip presses back, and we invite the left hip forward. Getting a good stretch for the hamstring. From here, we move back to a kneeling lunge. So we're bending our front knee, planting the back knee. Now we're into a tabletop. The left foot pulls forward. Here's our kneeling lunge. We've got about 4 breaths here, and then we're back up to a high lunge. From high lunge back to a pyramid. Feeling grounded and stable through the low body, extending and reaching through the upper body. Good, drop those hands down to frame the front foot, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, grounding into the front foot, breathing in. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. Toes point in the same direction. We're anchoring into that back heel, but it doesn't matter if it's touching the mat or if it's lifted. Straightening out the front knee, find your pyramid. Now the left hip pushes to the back, the right hip pulls forward so that we're getting stabilization in the low back. Little tuck in the chin, looking down toward the leg. Bending that back knee, come into a quick tabletop. And we have one slow cat-cow. So drop the belly, lift the chin. We're pausing here for maybe 2 to 3 breaths. Then we're rounding. So we're taking our mid back, pulling it up toward the ceiling. The tailbone and the chin tuck, looking towards the belly. Good, we're back to a tabletop, getting ready for a down dog. Once you're in a down dog, soften your knees, walk those feet forward. Good, deep breath in, circle sweep the arms up, and exhaling to a balancing airplane. So we're shifting our weight to one foot. It doesn't matter which one, we'll do both. Arms come out to the side, and then reach to the back. The back leg lifts and the toes are pointed. Shoulders pull away from the ears. If you fall out of it, turn it into a standing split and then get right back into it. Good, drop that foot down, circle sweep the arms up. Shift your weight to your other side. Reach the arms out and then to the back. Toes are pointed. Palms can be up, down, or sideways. Good, back to center. Turn to the long portion of your mat. Hands are at the hips. Bringing our weight to one side, we're picking up the opposite knee and tapping the toe. And then lift the knee. Tap the toe. So the knee stays bent the whole time. 2 more. Well done. Bring that knee back up and open it out to the side. You can push your leg. You can support your leg. You can send an arm out. The knee comes back to center, drop your foot down, hands come back to the hips, shift your weight to the other side, knee is bent, lifting and tapping. The core stays active and tight, the shoulders stay down and relaxed, we've got length through the neck and the head. Two more. Good, pulling that knee back up. Open out to the side. Good, back to center. And drop down. We're coming to a calf raise. So we've got the feet directly underneath the hips. And we're just gonna lift up to the tiptoes and then sink down, lifting and lowering. Great strength work for the lower legs. Anytime we're squatting or lunging, we're working the muscles in the upper legs. Anytime we're doing work like this specifically with the feet, we're strengthening the muscles of the lower leg. We've got 5 more. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once your heels are down, circle sweep up, palms come together. We're back to a chair flow. Staying connected with our breathing. Keeping that good form through the joints. We've got 5 more, and then we'll do a 12 count pulse. Here's 4, 3, stay with your breath, 2, and 1. Good, pausing briefly. And here's our 12 count. We've got 12, 11, 10. 3, 2, and 1. Stand all the way up. Drop those arms down. Returning to the top of the mat. We're getting ready for a high plank or a kneeling plank. So take a breath in. Sweep the arms up. Good. Breathe out. Diving forward. Palms come down to the mat. If you're doing a high plank, step your feet back. Line the shoulders up over the wrists. If you're doing a low plank, you're in a tabletop, and then the hips lower down. So pick either one. We're staying here for 3 breaths. Good, knees come down to the mat. Take a quick rest in child's pose. Reaching the arms to the top of the mat, or you can have them tucked in next to the body. Staying with the breath. Two more deep breaths. Good, press back up to center, and we're flipping all the way down to our back for a little bit of core work. So we're coming all the way down. Good, we're gonna pick those feet up so the legs are formed in the shape of a tabletop. Arms are next to the body. We're doing toe taps. So the right toes come down and then pull back to a tabletop. Left toes are down, pull back up. Alternating from side to side. We don't want any space between our low back and the mat. So we're firmly pressing the entire spine into the mat, almost like you're trying to make an imprint on your mat. We've got 4 more on each side. Last set. Nice job. Pull those knees in. Good. The arms are down next to the side. We're sending those feet up into a candlestick. Toes are pointed. We're doing a crisscross motion, almost like a ballerina. Keeping the toes pointed. One foot comes to the front and then the other. Same thing here with the spine. The whole back presses into the mat. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw those knees in. Breathe. arms come back down next to the side of the body. We're clicking our heels together so the feet form a V shape. So the heels are clicked together, the toes are open. We're kicking up on maybe a 45-degree angle. So we're gonna straighten and squeeze the legs, and then bend the knees, draw the heels toward the hips, and then press and squeeze, bend and pull back in. Working the abs and the legs. Five more to go. Here's 4. Last 3. 2, keep those heels together. And 1. Nice job. Bend those knees. We're pointing the toes and flexing the feet. Point the toes, flex the feet. Now we're doing a pedaling motion through the feet, almost like you're riding a bike, or it kind of resembles walking. Here's 5, 4, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're into a laying down butterfly. So the soles of the feet come down to the mat, and then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall open to the side. So the soles of the feet meet. You can support your legs in your hands if that's comfortable or not. Now we've got a little bit of space between our low back and the mat because the spine is in neutral. We have not activated the core. So it's fine to have that little tiny bit of space in your low back. You can bring your arms out to a goalpost. You can send them out to a T shape, or you can reach the arms up overhead. Be more deep breaths. Good, knees come back together. We're sending our right leg down. The left knee draws up. So we're supporting the shin with our hands, drawing that knee up into the ribs. We're lengthening and extending through the right leg. When you're ready, open your arms out to a T shape or to a goalpost. Keep that left knee bent and cross it up and over. So the left hip stacks on top of the right hip. Now we're bending our right knee, the bottom leg, point your toes behind. Take your left hand and bring it down towards your right toes, adding to the depth of that twist. We've got a couple breaths. Go ahead and let go of your foot, straighten out your leg, turn back to center. Now the left leg draws down, or the left leg extends down, the right knee draws up into the ribs. Breathing deeply, breathing with intention. Arms open to a T or a goalpost. Cross that knee up and over. The right hip is on top of the left hip. Bending the left knee, point the left foot towards your tailbone, and we're taking the right hand and that you grab your foot. We're just drawing that right hand and each other. 3 breaths. Good, releasing that bottom leg first. Roll back so that you're square on your back, and we're resting in a candlestick. So the legs extend up, the toes point, hands can rest on your belly, on your side, or out to a T. Candlestick is considered an inversion in yoga. We've got the legs extended above the head and the heart. And so what happens, our legs are some of the biggest muscles in the body. So when we take the time to lift the legs up and to lay flat on our back, all the blood from the big muscles in your legs is flushing back into all of your vital organs. So it's a natural pick-me-up. It can be a bit of an energy booster, and it's really good for the body to be inverted once in a while. Staying here for 2 to 3 more breaths. Good, bend those knees, draw them back in. And then we're keeping the knees bent, the soles of the feet come to the mat. Hands can rest on the belly or next to the body. We're coming to the equal ratio breath. So we're breathing in through the nose, we're breathing out through the nose, and they're the exact same length. We all breathe at different paces, so find a count that's comfortable for you, usually somewhere between 3 and 7. So say for instance that I chose 4, I will breathe in counting to 4 in my mind, and then I'll breathe out through the nose counting to 4 in my mind. So take a minute just to start with that equal ratio breathing. Most of us have a deeper inhale and a shorter, more shallow exhale. When we breathe in that fashion, we activate the body's sympathetic nervous system, which is fight, flight, or freeze. So if you think about the way that you breathe when you're running, it's often a big inhale and a short exhale. And so we want to just even that out, bringing that balance to the nervous system. So count in your mind, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. We'll go through 4 more cycles. And when you're ready, we're moving on to our final relaxation. So we're extending our legs all the way down. If that's they're next to the body, palms face up. We're setting a timer for about 10 minutes. Laying here, breathing deeply. You can continue with that equal ratio breath if it helps keep your focus. Or you can simply just be, getting all the benefits of breathing deep and being still. Thank you.